Anyway, so welcome to Elementary Methods, Day 2. I'm going to share my screen with you. Share. Play. All right. So today we're going to talk about elementary music, the big picture, and then we're going to get into specifics by grade. And we're going to talk about the Tennessee standards. It says we're going to learn about teaching songs orally. That is not true. We are going to talk about how we teach a concept in elementary music, just the general, just like a general framework, I would say. So, elementary music, the big picture. So these are the concepts. I hope you can see the whole screen because right now your pictures are over part of it. Trying to move you, I'm not going to, oh well. These are the concepts we teach in elementary music. We teach rhythm, melody, form, expression, timbre, and texture. Now, let's think about that for a moment. Those are probably things that you're working on right now, correct? I have a hand raised. Wait a minute, sharing is paused. Why is sharing paused? Can you see now? Is that why your hand was up, Alexa?
Yeah, I could only see the first slide, and so you're talking about, the big picture, and I'm like, I only see the first slide. Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Maybe it's when I put it in play mode. Well, this isn't as pretty, but I'll put it in this mode. So, in fact, let me correct this while I'm at it. How we teach concepts. A framework. All right, so again, the big picture concepts are rhythm, melody, form, expression, timbre, and texture. So think about what you're doing right now in perhaps your applied lessons, or what you would normally do in ensemble, what you do in theory, what you do in music history. And do you learn about these things now? So all that learning starts from a basic place. And you start learning these concepts very early, as soon as you're exposed to music. So what we're going to do, if I can get this to work correctly, is we have 6 concepts here. And I'm going to, I hope, put you in 6 breakout rooms. And I want you to create a hierarchical list. In other words, from the simplest element of that concept to a more complex or more sophisticated element of that complex, of that concept. Does that make sense? Sorta, I hope. So let's see if I can do a breakout room. Now that's the big thing. Let me. Okay, I think I have to stop share meeting. Okay, I was looking at this last night. It said it's under meeting. Okay, does anybody know how to start a breakout room? I love remote teaching. God, it's supposed to be right under meeting. Switch camera. General. Nope. Nope. Well, people, come on. do you mean there's no?
I just read online. You have to enable, like, if you go to account management and then account settings, then there should be a breakout room option, and it needs to be enabled.
Okay. Sign in. Guys, thanks for your patience. Account.
It's all good. Take it time.
We're all getting through this together.
Grab a cup of coffee or something. This bites. Okay, that was recorded. I shouldn't say that. This is weird, y'all. User management. Okay, Reese, you said account management? No. Group management.
I wasn't unmuted. If you go to account management, then account settings, there should be a breakout room button.
Advanced. There is not. What the hell? Users. Okay, talk amongst yourselves. The Roman Empire, it was neither Roman nor an empire. Discuss.
Okay, but like the Romans' battle tactics? They were the ones that invented the shield wall.
Do you guys know that reference?
You're not.
It's from Saturday Night Live back in the 90s.
Oh,
I definitely didn't get that.
my question is, why didn't nobody like copy the Romans with their battle tactics?
Actually, the Vikings did.
See, I would have had to utilize that. I would have plagiarism wasn't a thing back then, so.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, if y'all haven't watched it yet, The Last Kingdom on Netflix, great show.
I've heard that.
What's it about?
It's
Last
about
Kingdom.
it's about it's about the last kingdom of like I can't remember what century it was, but it's basically like old-timey England when the Danes were invading.
Oh, cool.
And
That's one of those.
Y'all, Uncrustables are the best breakfast.
Uncrustables?
which one are you eating?
And just a regular peanut butter and jelly one.
They have a Nutella one. It's the bomb, dude.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, got it.
Do you think if I have time, I can get some water while waiting? Because my throat is parched.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Whoa, this opened up a whole new world.
Massive breakthroughs.
Group management, Zoom rooms.
Good thing this is day 2.
I know, people.
Alyssa, are you having fun?
Me? No. I'm really sorry, guys. And thank you for your patience. Okay, Reese. It was user management and then, because the deal is I had to put in a credit card to validate my identity.
Oh, that's
And
weird.
and now it's opened up. I mean, there are new things in it's opened up all kinds of new buttons. Whoa. Okay. So
There should be 1 second. I was watching like some YouTube videos on how to do it.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was like you hit the meetings button, and then you go down to edit your actual like the meeting, and then you're gonna like pre-assign people that are going to like which breakout rooms
Okay.
and everything.
Breakout room. Yes.
Oh.
Little steps, people. Little steps.
Little steps, people. Little steps.
All right. Okay, let's see if this works now. We're all learning together. We're going to get this all figured out, and then it's going to be time to go.
This is why we're lifelong learners.
Oh, look at you, Isaiah. Thank you. Okay, it's still not. Okay, I've done it here. Allow host to assign participants to breakout rooms. Settings updated.
You're doing great, Dr. Foster. You're doing great.
There you go. Thanks. Ooh, captions. No, I don't want to caption all these things.
Closed captioning is brought to you by.
How's everyone's morning, by the way? Is everybody doing okay?
I'm doing all right.
That's
How about
great.
you?
I barely made it. I don't know how I got here, but I made it.
I feel that, Donovan.
Probably a cup of coffee will do. I got some water. We're gonna wing this out.
What are you talking about? Barely made it. You've got your hat on. You've got
I
your
know.
earrings.
Look at that.
You're like all up and done and fantastic.
It was a rush this morning. You don't know the story, but yeah, it took forever to get here. I didn't know where the Zoom meeting link was until the last minute, so it's like literally the last minute, like 9:09.
Just tell me how to do it. Ugh.
We have a 2319.
Okay.
If you don't get that reference, oh gosh.
Who, me?
No, just the class.
Speaker view. Meeting.
Was there at the bottom of your screen like a breakout room option at all?
No, I thought it would appear that way. Stop video. Security. I'm not worried about security. Chat. Share screen. Recording reactions. Support. Let's go to preferences. Join a meeting. Yeah, I've already done that. Thanks. Okay, I'm about to give up on this and we'll have to do it the dry way. Meeting, full screen, view, pause recording, video, manage, no. Come on. Okay. I'm going to share the screen with you so you're not just sitting there. And if I can get back to Zoom. I have like 30 windows open. I did learn that I can connect another monitor to this, so I may do that. All right. Managing breakout
Hey everyone,
rooms.
Farah from Zoom here. On this brief video, we're going to show you how you can leverage our breakout room feature to take a large
Guys, it's captioned in Farsi.
meeting or virtual classroom and split it up into smaller groups or sessions. You'll see that I have already enabled the breakout room feature, which you can find in your settings along the bottom. And that breakout room button will actually be right here. This is a button that only your hosts or co-hosts will be able to see. And right now we don't have a co-host in the session. If I manage my participants, I can hover over Catherine, for example, to make her a co-host. So she'll see this button now as well.
What?
When we're ready to split the group into smaller sessions, I can easily click this button to get a pop-up window asking me how many rooms I'd like to assign out and how many participants per room. For this example, it's recommending, since there are 6 people, we can split it up into 2 rooms. I can do this automatically or manually. So if we click on the automatic button, it'll generate those breakout rooms for us. Certainly if there's anyone I want to swap out, maybe I want to move Michael to the other room, I can exchange him for a different participant. Once I'm ready to open all rooms, I'll click this open all rooms button, and our participants will be able to join the sessions that we've created for them.
So it should be
we'll
at the
slowly
bottom.
see those people join. One thing that's really important to note is that as a host or a co-host, you can actually hop between the different rooms to talk to the participants.
Cool. All right. So I think I think the problem is I don't have that at the bottom. So we're going to go on with this today, and I'm going to figure out how to do that for next time. And I thank you for your patience. The class that grows together. I'm trying to think of a rhyme. Grows together. I don't know. All right. So let's get back to.
Flow together.
There you go. Glows together. All right. So I really do want to do this for next time. So let's just start with one concept and do this hierarchical list. So what I'd like you to do, because I can't get to the chat, I'd really like you to speak up and tell me what you would think the most basic element of rhythm that you would teach a developing human being. What would be the first thing someone would need to learn in order to understand rhythm?
I think that being able to keep a steady beat and like understand just even, not that it's quarter notes or anything, but they can feel just a steady pulse.
Yeah,
That's exactly right. That's
Like
exactly
you
right.
playing in unison.
Sorry?
Like playing in unison with like an instructor or just a teacher in general.
Actually, you mean moving in unison?
Well, yeah, just anything that's like the instructor's doing it and everybody can actually like see and hear.
If it's beat related, yes. So,
Okay.
So beat would be the very first element. All right. What do you think would be next? I know. Huh?
Note values.
Note values. That's way far down the list. Before you can learn note values, so you've started with beat, and you're getting children to make a beat, and then you want them to start to understand rhythm. What is rhythm?
Get them to count.
Answer this question first. What is rhythm? See, I can tell you're juniors because you're overthinking this.
Is it durations of time that you're doing something?
That's it. That's a junior or senior level in college answer.
Okay.
Yes. Break it down even more simply.
The feeling you feel when you feel music.
Here's a rhythm.
It's a pattern.
Pattern,
Rest.
yes.
Rest.
And there's rest, yes. But there's something in between pattern and beat. Let me let me just speak a rhythm. Da 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 da. What kind of sounds am I making?
You're repeating?
They're repeating, yes.
Some are stressed and some are unstressed.
Yes. You're getting
It's
there.
all the same. Even when you were clapping, it was the same like instrument or movement.
Were they all the same?
associated with it.
Or were some of them of different lengths?
Lengths.
Come on.
Short and long.
Yes.
Short and long notes.
This is going to be a fun semester, people. Short
I was so
and
I was so
long
scared to answer.
sounds. That's what rhythm is. It's a series of short and long sounds. So is your mind blown? Are you going, oh my gosh? Elementary music is like simple and extremely complex at the same time. But okay, so beat, you got children making a beat. Then they start to create short and long sounds. And then, as Isaiah noted, they start to understand that there are patterns. For instance, and I remember doing this with a kindergarten class in their first or second month of school. And one of them, their eyes got really big and they suddenly went, oh, that's a pattern. You did short, short, and then long, and then short, short, and then long again. It's a pattern. It's a pattern. Because that's how they understand to say it. But anyway, yes, pattern. And then, and somebody brought this up. So who said stressed and unstressed? Okay, Isaiah again. See, Isaiah is our lifesaver today. Stressed and unstressed. So why would you need to understand stressed and unstressed? What does that lead to?
Accents.
Okay, and think even more basic.
Phrases.
How many of you is anybody in conducting right now? Okay, and I want you to think real simply. What do you learn in conducting?
Where the strong
Pattern.
Pattern,
Like
yes.
beat pattern.
So instead of a rhythm pattern, now I'm thinking of a conducting pattern. And what are those conducting patterns?
The strong beats.
Leading toward grouping of beats.
Grouping of beats.
So what do I mean by grouping of beats?
A time signature.
Yes, time signature. Okay, so we start to hear blah, 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 grouping of beats in twos, and then threes, and then fours. Whoops. Eventually, believe it or not, you can do fives with elementary students. They think it's pretty cool. They're like, it's like it's limping. All right, grouping of beats, but let's keep it simple. So now we've got these patterns and we've got these grouping of beats. And then I think, was it Jarrett that said note value, or somebody had said early in the thing, and I said, that's way, way down. So we start to understand that those long and short sounds and the patterns that we can have can be notated. And they could be notated different ways. You'll learn in a couple of weeks that we're going to start first with, oh, the audio is cutting out when I clap. Thank you. You'll learn that first we notate with pictures and icons, but then we transfer that to standard notation. Iconic and standard. All right?
So is that like whenever we were in music education foundations or whatever, whatever that class was with you, when we had the squares and the circles and they represented different lengths?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just, that was one example. And, okay, sorry, I'm getting all kinds of alerts from Zoom. Yes, that was one kind of, that was one example, and I'll give you really specific examples in the coming weeks. So what we will do next time is I will figure out how to, between now and then, how to put you in breakout rooms. And actually it'll be good because we have 6 concepts and now we've kind of done one. But you'll have 5 left. So I'll put you in 5 different groups and you'll start to think of all the things we got to do to the hierarchical list for each of these. Do you know what I mean by timbre? Somebody shout out, what's the definition of timbre, or just describe it.
Isn't it like the way that something sounds?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. So that gets into instruments and just general sounds that we can make, even our own instruments, our voices, etc. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about how we teach a concept in elementary music. And because it's going to be, your musical experience, especially the one that's been most, that's closest in your memory, is learning to read music and then learning to perform with your instrument correctly and musically, whatever your instrument is. Excuse me. Playing an ensemble and playing solo. But basically, when you learn a new piece of music, what do you do? Somebody we haven't heard from, I want to hear from.
I listened to it first.
Okay, you listen to it. And then what's the next step? Do you have a score or do you learn it by ear?
No, you listen to it and pair it with the score.
Okay, yeah, you have the score. Okay. Now, elementary students, they don't start with the score. We will start with the concept of sound before symbol. Now, I want you to think back to your probably freshman year, although a couple of you were in foundations last year, about that sound before symbol. Do you remember all those people that talked about having the experience before actually seeing it notated? John Dewey was one of them. And I didn't write down the other one because I thought I'll be able to think of his name right on the top of my head. And of course I can't. This is why we write things down. Who was the other guy? Not Vygotsky. Well, I'm embarrassed. Color me red. Ugh. Okay, in any case, sound before symbol, you experience it, you experience the concept before it's named. And like, I can give you the example of my granddaughter. She's learning what things are right now. She's starting to talk. She knows her grandmother's name, which is extremely important to me. But she learned to say Dee Dee, And she knew who I mean, she would see my face, and I was the lady that would always sing to her. I think that's how she associates me. But she would say Dee Dee, and she would see me, and all of a sudden she was like, oh, you're Dee Dee. I get it. So now she'll go, Dee Dee, baby, Dee Dee, baby. And we FaceTime all the time. So that's how young children learn, is they experience the concept. She experienced me, and then she learned to know that I'm, she got the name of me. So that's kind of a rough analogy, but along that same analogy, that's what we do in elementary music. So we will take a concept, and then we'll use 3 or 4 songs or rhymes within the context of the lesson that have that concept in them. And we usually have a focus song or rhyme, and we'll perform it, and the students get to know it. And we don't say, okay, today we are learning about quarter rest, and I'm going to teach you this quarter rest through the following 3 or 4 songs and rhymes. You just start to do it, and you might say, we're going to learn a new musical symbol, or we're going to learn a new what it sounds like when there's a beat of silence, something like that. And then we do it. They internalize the music through a kinesthetic activity. They describe what they hear. They have a picture of what they hear. Then we label it. So there are all these steps before we actually get to labeling and notating it. So for example, and if we were in the classroom, we'd actually do this, but okay, so if I were presenting the quarter rest, I would sing a really great song, a really good focus song for quarter rest is Hot Cross Buns. And since you all know Hot Cross Buns, I'm going to sing it. I'll be interested to see how this works. I'm going to sing Hot Cross Buns. And when you hear a beat of silence, would you put your hand up? Okay, I'm going to see how the delay is, or the latency, as they say. Hot cross buns, hot cross buns, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns. That's so funny because it's like 3 beats behind. That's crazy. All right, so we would sing the song, and obviously we can't sing it together, but we would sing the song, and I would have students say, keep a beat. And I'd say, when you are tapping your knees and you hear a beat of silence, would you go, shh? Obviously we can't do that right now, but that would be the way I would introduce it. Then, let me see what song was next on my list. All Around the Buttercup, and we would get to play this, which is a really fun game. But all around the buttercup, 1, 2, 3, rest. If you want a nice new friend, just choose me, rest. And we would also play the game. We'd be sitting in a circle. We'd actually get to tap heads. Remember back in the days when you could touch, acquaintances? I mean, in appropriate ways. That was kind of weird. Okay, you know what I mean. But we would play the game. And after we would play the game, we'd come back and say, you know what? There were some beats of silence there. And then we would do the same with peas porridge hot. Do you know the rhyme peas porridge hot? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold, peas porridge in the pot, 9 days old. Some like it hot, some like it cold, some like it in the pot, 9 days old. So we would do that, and we'd play with that for a while, and I might say, Zachary, what did you have for breakfast this morning? Zach, what did you have for breakfast?
I had Frosted Flakes.
All right. Frosted Flakes hot, Frosted Flakes cold, Frosted Flakes in the pot, 9 days old. So we keep doing this, and they'd all want to tell me what they had for breakfast. Chloe, what did you have for breakfast?
I had honey bunches of oats.
Honey bunches of oats hot, honey bunches of oats cold, honey bunches of oats in the pot 9 days. So we do that, and it give them lots of opportunity to practice with that rest. And they love to be silly. And there's always going to be somebody that says, nothing, I didn't have breakfast. Okay, nothing hot, nothing cold, and they descend into giggles, and it's great fun. So they've experienced it. Let's get back to this. They've internalized it through the kinesthetic experience. What was the kinesthetic thing that they did?
Raise their hand, right?
Yeah, they just raised their hand. If we were together, I might have you make a sound. I might have you stomp the floor or go shh or make a shape. That's a fun one. And then they describe what they hear. Boys and girls, when you were making that shape on the beat of silence, what did you hear? And they'll be really confused and look around, and finally somebody will say, nothing. Yes, in music, when we have a beat of silence, we call it a rest. So what am I doing now?
Apply notation.
I'm labeling the sound, and then I would show them what a rest looks like. So these are all these steps that you go through before you even notate the sound. Okay? So I wanted to give you that kind of conceptual overview of how we teach in elementary music, because it's probably further from your memory and further from your experience, because likely, as Jada and several of you said, you sit down, you listen to a recording of it, you have the score in front of you, and then you start playing it or singing it or performing it in some way. Yes? And I remember doing that. In fact, side note, I remember being so excited when I actually got to a level of repertoire that I could go find a recording of it. I thought I was, frankly, excuse the language, a badass. I was like, ooh, I'm rocking now. There's a recording of this. All right, so repertoire. What kind of repertoire do we use? Folk songs from many cultures, rhymes and chants, popular music, classical music from the Western canon, and music of different ethnic origins. Next week, we'll get into a conversation about repertoire we should use and repertoire we should absolutely not use that needs to be relegated to museums of old racist songs that we shouldn't sing anymore. And that'll be an interesting discussion. Okay, and we'll get into that a little bit. So, well, this did not, we didn't get to cover everything I exactly wanted to cover, but I think we know more about how to, well, a big picture of elementary music, sort of, and a framework. We now have a framework for how we teach concepts, and we know a little bit about breakout rooms. So we're going to continue with this next week on Friday. I hope that I will see a lot of you at the, what's the thing at 12:30? Convocation. I hope I see a lot of you there. That'll be interesting. I know that Dr. Help me, trumpet guy, Dr. Spencer will be speaking. He's been doing a lot of work with technology this summer, and I think he'll have some interesting things. You'll have some interesting things to learn from him. Make sure that you have typed your name in the chat. I am going to go ahead and post this. I did not post our first class because we were all there, and I don't know there was anything that groundbreaking that you need to be able to go back and review, although I will post notes from that. I do have my, you know how I post the notes, the taking the PowerPoint and turning it into a PDF file, and I'll post that in the Elementary Methods eCourseware shell. Be aware that there are a lot of things in the shell right now that are invisible to you, and I will slowly open those up. This summer I took a course about eCourseware, and they talked about the wisdom in not overwhelming you and showing you everything you're going to do this semester, because that can get a little overwhelming. Can get a little overwhelming for me too, just thinking about teaching it all. So does anybody have any questions before we leave? If you do, you're always welcome to email me. It's really great to see you guys. I appreciate your attention, and I really appreciate your patience in as we navigate this new world of online teaching. I suspect that when I log out of this Zoom meeting and log back in to Zoom, I think I'll have the option of creating a breakout room. I think that's the missing element. So, because I have enabled it now. So next Friday, or this Friday, I'm hoping we'll be able to do that. Keep your fingers crossed. You guys have a great day. Keep being the awesome people you are. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Alexa.
Do we have any readings or homework due this Friday?
That's a good question. Let me pull out my trusty handy dandy syllabus. I actually broke down and printed it. I'm so old school. Where'd it go? You do not. Have you all read Klausner chapter 1? Have you found any typos? Email me if you do. All right.
There was a picture of Everly though.
Yes, you know I'm going to do that. Did I ask her parents? No, I think they're okay with it though. Now I know why Bob Duke puts pictures of his grandchildren in his books. It's easier to get permissions because the other pictures in there are just ones I've pulled off Google. So when it goes to a publisher, I know that will change. So anyway, all right. Thank you guys. I really enjoy seeing you guys. You give me hope for the future. This is an interesting time to teach, but when I look at your smiling faces, it really does help. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Email me if you need anything. Take care. Bye.